their reproductive health. And so as they are aging, their fears are that, hey, I may not be able to have a child of my own. Well, this morning we'll be unlocking that. We'll be unraveling what really is the issue, what can be done, what is it that they need to know. And so sit, stick, and stay with Ultimate. Everything about you as a woman. We are going to take out the fears out of you this morning.
If you talk bad things about me, everybody say, scatter bad man, scatter bad man, scatter bad man, scatter bad man. I do fear, oh yeah, scatter bad man, scatter bad man.
And to unravel this discussion, as always, every Tuesday, I've got Reverend Mikita Anyim up here. He'll be joining in the discussion, unraveling everything about it.
Things about me,
Look, it is something we really cannot, take out, because it's like, as life is, we all know the situation. The men are not coming, the marriage is not coming, so it's either you marry or probably, the fears is there. And so it's like, it's one thing most women fear about. And so we'll be going straight into our discussion and unravel. By this morning, cup of tea is proudly brought to you by Goldfinger Restaurant. Are you looking for a place to give that woman that sparkling experience, that wonderful experience?
Things that surprise me, Charlie.
Then Goldfinger Restaurant is the place.
Remember who Baba God.
We are located at Shire, so here in Kumasi, behind the Despite building.
Money. So who be you?
Charlie, if you've not been there, just try that. You've had an experience everywhere, but I tell you, Goldfinger Restaurant, you've not been there, then you've not been to the place that you really have to get the best experience. The treats they are going to give you, your meal, everything is on point. I tell you, if you take your girlfriend there, she would really have you in memory forever. It's going to run as a memory forever in her mind. Hey, not just the men. Women should also try and also give their boyfriends treat. And so the best place to be is at Goldfinger Restaurant. Are you organizing a birthday party? Is it that you want to throw a birthday party for your mommy? Yes, mommy is 60 years and you want to throw a birthday party. Walk to Goldfinger Restaurant. You can call them on 0248672185 and start to communicate. They are ready to help you, give you the place. Are you, an organization, you want to have a meeting or a conference? And numero uno, where you can really have this business conference or meetings or whatever it is at Goldfinger Restaurant. We give you luxury, relaxation, and comfort. Our meals, I tell you, when it comes to taste, we are number one. Remember, I told you the last time that Hill Comfort Noche project is still on. And just as I said earlier, the phase 1 is almost done. And so we are moving to phase 2. And I tell you, don't be left out. I've always said that, look, there's something about Comfort Noche, and it is just that it is the only teaching hospital that serves us here in the Ashanti region and part of the Ahafo, Bunu, and even the northern region.
Scatter bad man, I give fear. I give fear.
And so your contribution would rather help go a long way to give it a facelift.
Boundary, just remember.
Let's all help contribute our quota.
You make live. Jehovah already make me great. Today I make a modest.
Are you a family of 432 that wants to help? Or are you an organization, a church? Or are you in diaspora, want to come down, help? Look, organizations, wherever you are, individual, let's all help in giving Komfanochi a facelift. And so how do we go about that? Is just walk to any Fidelity Bank branch,
Scatter bad man, I give fear.
or probably dial star 776 star 1955 heart,
Bad man, scatter.
or 0544195525.
I give fear. Whatever I tell you, say, whatever happened me.
Tabia product, Tabia herbal product this morning.
Okay.
We've got Tabia herbal mixture, Tabia herbal cup, Tabia Zenica mixture,
Say, Kwame Eugene.
and then my favorite, Tabia taco.
If you say you can, I can move faster. DJ Baboski, go.
Do you want to boost your immune system? One thing we don't know is, hey, our immune system act as the military in our body system. They fight disease.
Everybody say.
And so the stronger your immune system is, the healthier you become.
Scatter bad man, I give fear.
And so in boosting your immune system, Tabia Zenica mixture is ready to help.
Scatter bad man, I give fear.
With Tabia herbal capsule, man, it cleans everything in your system. Detoxifies your blood, gives you clean blood and cleans everything. Gets you of any filth.
Things about me, Onyame Ube.
It gets filth from the body.
Everybody say. Scatter bad man, scatter bad.
And it eliminates all toxins. And so Tabia Zenica, Tabia herbal mixture, it's your number one herbal product. Not forgetting Tabia taco.
He make me bigger than all my enemies. Yeah.
Husbands
Wanna try me?
and men, if you want to take in charge at home, in the room,
Yeah. Hospital.
Tabia Takum is ready to sort you out.
Scatter bad man, scatter.
I tell you, the woman's complaint will be a thing of the past.
Yeah.
All you need to do is get yourself Tabia Takum. When you talk about Tabia herbal product,
Bad man.
they are available in all pharmaceutical and herbal shops.
I give fear.
You can also contact them on 0243686861 or 0245749206.
Your boundary. Just remember who Baba God is. The bad behind you make live. Jehovah already make me great. Today I make a money, spend money. So who be you to stand my way? Shaka wale soja. Oh yo gang kama abacha konga. Nyame kwana me mane wasida. Bisano kwana why.
Last Saturday, I got an opportunity to have an experience I've never had before, and that is because I advised a friend to go for PKB Group of Companies car battery. And so, to reward me, well, he took me somewhere. Gave me an opportunity to have an experience I've never had before. It's all because of PKB Group of Companies. The battery he got from PKB, very affordable. And so I don't want you to miss that experience. I tell you, when it comes to quality, batteries of all brands and of all sizes, PKB Group of Companies is the best. When it comes to quality, PKB Group of Companies. Dealers in brand new car batteries and car tires as well. Both retail and wholesale. So yes, if you are a company, you need retail, wholesale, you just want to fill up your shop with quality car batteries that people will definitely rush to come by, then go to PKB Group of Companies. It's not all about car batteries and car tires. We also dealers in Turkish doors, quality Turkish doors. And so that your new office, you want to finish it, then finish it with quality Turkish doors from PKB Group of Companies. That your new house. You want to finish it, finishing it without quality Turkish doors from PKB Group of Companies. Then I tell you, you are missing a lot. Where can you locate PKB Group of Companies? Our main office is in Kumasi, here close to the Tafo Muslim Cemetery. Or you can also locate other branches at Amulonga Junction, Thursday, Furikrum, Bus Stop. Or probably call us. Yes, call us as well on 0501 485115 or 02091703030.
Come cross my boundary, but that must be taking over. Oh yeah, scatter bad man.
The Sirio Natno 3 EV. Marketed in Ghana right here. Anointed Engineering Electrical. Anointed Engineering is giving you a different experience. Charlie, what it used to fuel a check.
You just know your boundary.
It is always, you're spending money buying fuel. I'm giving you an opportunity. This car, you are just charging it. All you need to do is to fix it in your plug, charge it, and you are good to go. The distance it will cover, Charlie, you will marvel. Right from here, I'm going to get myself that experience to see. Yes. I tell you, Sirio Natno 3 EV.
Scatter bad man, I oh yeah, scatter bad man.
Yes, the Sirio Natno 3 EV, marketed in Ghana here by Anointed Engineering Electricals in Kumasi. We are located in our ultra-modern showroom close to the TAT yard, yes, off the Mayanka Road. Then in Accra, the Kwame Nkrumah Avenue, close to Farisco traffic like opposite Glyco office. Call us on 0544340589 and get yourself the Sirio Natno 3 EV. So let me go straight to Reverend Michaela. Yes, Reverend, good morning. After a long holiday, how was your Easter? In just 1 minute.
Wonderful and stressful.
Stressful. Church activities.
Yes, a lot.
Yes, of course, a lot of. I'm sure with my church, the Bethel Methodist Church, we had the Good Friday service.
Okay.
You know, initially the Methodist Church we used to have it twice, but this time it's just once. So we have one service, and then Sunday too we have the resurrection service.
Sunday, yeah.
Then yesterday, yes, we had a get together. People came around, cooking. It's like a picnic in the church, and it was wonderful. I enjoyed sumptuous meals yesterday.
And a time to socialize.
Of course, mingling, and
we all need that.
Of course, having an opportunity to really mingle and then make new friends. So, to the organizers of the program, a very big thank you. Yesterday it was very nice. Our very own Reverend in team, yes, Michael in team, yes, very, very innovative. In fact, it was very insightful. And to Joseph Ampadu, the steward of the church, and then Oscar and everybody that helped him coming up with this idea, it was really brilliant. To all Bible class leaders and everybody that really joined, it's wonderful. So yeah, this morning we are talking about women. It's the fears of most women. I've always said that it's not the problem of we the men. The fact is, the man is not ready. It is a man that will marry a woman.
Yeah.
And so, if the man is not ready, what happens? And so, the fears of the way, the men are not coming. And so, if we marry late, the likelihood that probably maybe our childbearing will also delay, or probably maybe we'll have that kind of problem. I'm sure you hear such stories.
A lot in the communities.
Yes, yes.
A lot.
And it is one thing very common with us, like especially, and even looking at where we're coming from, childbearing is something critical with us here in Ghana. I mean, and so I think it's very important to really delve into that. But so, what are some of the, my initial question, what are some of the common stories you hear about what the women will say? What are some of the fears they have?
Thank you, Ronald, for this opportunity once again. It's been, as I said, a very long Easter and a very wonderful one. Greetings to all listeners of our Ultimate 106.9. This morning we are streaming live also on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I've already seen people already liking. Don't just like, share. let it go viral.
Yeah.
Yes, just share it on your WhatsApp status, share it on other groups
that-
on Facebook, so that other people, not just women. You see, when it comes to the aspect of women, men are involved.
Yeah, yeah, because it is
Yes.
we that,
That,
mean,
that is it. In fact,
it is a man who marry a woman.
Yes.
So you, the man, you are the husband.
yes.
Or probably
yes.
maybe you are the boyfriend.
Yes. Dr. Kweju Agi said that educate a man and you educate one person, educate a woman and you educate a whole nation.
Yeah.
So it means that out of the woman comes the man. So definitely let everyone get to know of this. And then greetings to people who are sending me messages this morning. My director has called me. He's in Kumasi. He's listening. Mr. John Yeboah, District Director of Health Service, Akrofum. To all staff at the Regional Health Directorate, especially to our Regional Director who recently celebrated his birthday. To a wonderful man. We say, God bless you. May the Lord extend your age and then actually grant you more wisdom and courage for the great leadership ahead. And also to members of my church, Royal Life Baptist Church at 24 Last Stop. And to all Baptist ministers this morning, Reverend George Owusu, you are listening. You sent me a message this morning that you've tuned in, you are watching on Facebook Live. So, yeah. So we say greetings to you.
Yeah.
Okay, some of the concerns that we have when it comes to the community. You see, as a pastor, I've been hearing a lot.
Yeah, because the women will definitely come.
I've been
The
hearing
men
a lot.
will come.
When they are when they are not married, they come. When they marry,
They come.
So,
Oh my
so,
God.
so usually whenever I'm advising people, and then they are the verge of courtship, and then they are the verge of going for marriage counseling and all that. And then it looks like, you see, usually when women get to that point, it looks like they are crossing their breakthrough point.
Yeah.
They are
yeah.
very, very happy.
Especially the 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
Yeah, when they are
they have a
married,
lot of fears.
yes,
They
they
are
have-
not married,
yes,
so what's really happening?
Yes, you see, but even after marriage, there's still that fear. Because what if I don't conceive? You see, within the society, our society has made it, should I say, more demanding when it comes to childbearing
Okay.
on the women, not on men.
On men.
You see, it's just like this. You see, our society naturally makes men superior. It's just like you go to a community where, let's say, currently there is a menace of Galamsey, illegal mine and all that. Just know that there are chiefs who are supervising this. I hope you know that. But hardly do we mention their names.
Yeah.
Because they are the superiors. So definitely, those are the subheads who will be the one to suffer.
Well,
That's the same thing. When it comes to the various homes in the African context, when even the man is at fault, it's the woman who will actually feel the impact.
I think after this, we'll talk about, probably maybe next we'll talk about the nutrition, the foods we eat and how it affects
Yeah.
the health of men.
Yes,
as
because
well.
of time, we
Yeah.
will probably push it to next week, and then we will
Yeah.
delve much more on that.
Yes.
But these are fears that people are having. Charlie, I'm aging. Hey, so for what do you want? Is it money? No. I want a
I want a
husband.
child.
I want a child.
I want a child. Yeah, I want a husband. I want a child.
You see,
yeah.
our concept has made it husband child. Because the
and-
issue is if you don't balance it, there'll be a great
From the
issue.
church to have painted a picture. Well, I wouldn't say the church, but
Society.
we have made it look like, well, if you have a child out of wedlock, it's wrong.
Yes.
Culturally and
Culturally, and then with our faith.
yes,
Yes.
and our faith based.
Yes. Yes.
So definitely, I have to get a husband. Then
Yes.
the husband will father the child.
Yes. And the issue is that, not like just culturally and then with faith based, I think people who brought the idea have observed a lot. Usually, women who get children out of wedlock, majority of them struggle a lot in raising the child. Majority of them, they really struggle a lot
So,
in raising the child.
what are some of the common things the women come to tell you? You said they come a lot.
Come a lot. Now, you see, when they show up, usually, I think a recent complaint was that I went to hospital and the doctor says that I'm aging if I don't give birth. I may not be able to give birth in future. Yes. And she's waiting for a husband, hoping for a husband. You get it? So while she's telling you that, now she's pushing you on one angle that if you are praying for me, step up the prayers. That the husband will come so that I'll conceive immediately. And then also the other aspect is yes, you get it.
I understand.
I'm aging, and my child is likely going to be, let's say, in quote. I'm putting it in quote because we have a wrong perception about these kind of children, but that is not the way it is. I may have a child who is probably suffering from a Down syndrome or autism. You see, people have those notions.
The further I go in age, it may worsen my child's condition.
Yes, the higher probability of having a child who is affected or
disability
or having some disabilities. You see, these are some of the basic complaints that they usually come around with, and they are always like, "I'm aging and men are not looking at me." Yes, especially when they cross 35, challenge becomes an issue when they cross 35. But usually from the 25 coming, they hardly complain.
Yes.
Because usually people
still feel they are young.
At that time, usually when they come, they think people are disturbing me. Then you tell them,
and they turn them down.
You tell them that this is the time to also make your right choice. So you sit down and make your right choice. Don't turn them away, even if you don't want that person. Don't shut the door. Make sure you keep that friendship because you may need that person in future.
And I just want to find out, why have society made childbearing so important and putting a lot of pressure on women specifically, just as you said?
You see, with our society, when it comes to children, religiously, culturally, let's put these two juxtapose. We juxtapose these two ideas. When it comes to religion, I'm a Christian. And then, right after creation, God says something. Multiply. You get it? Yes. Right after creation, there was that command to multiply. So, on the religion aspect or the religious aspect, multiplication is supposed to come out of any form of union. Even if we have animals, male and female, and then we have groomed them for a long time and they are not multiplying, probability that they will be harvested or they'll be killed for food or meat is very, very high. So the moment a man and a woman go into the union of marriage, the next thing they are looking out for is, I had a similar attack when I got married. Yes, I had a similar attack when I got married. Yeah, you see. And then with the cultural aspect, our culture actually, if you should trace the culture of Ghana to the way of our farming and the way of our economy and all that, you see, back in the olden days, our grandfathers used to give birth, marry many, and then give birth to lots of children to aid them on their farming.
Their cocoa farms.
Yes, to aid them with that. Hence, anyone who was not giving birth was looked as being lazy, which means you don't have a farm, which means you are not being productive. I hope you are getting the notion. So that has been the norm, that once you go into marriage, childbirth should follow. Once you are there, in fact, no matter the ideas that you have, it should cut. No matter whatever you are pursuing, you should block it and then go for a child just to make the family happy. And then pressure from not just society, from our parents. It's been a pressure. Hey, now what would that be?
Okay.
These are all pressures, and
now
usually it goes directly to the woman.
Let's zoom into our main discussion.
Okay.
What are some of the things that affect the woman, coupled with age?
With age, when it comes to pregnancy.
When it comes to fertility, childbearing.
Okay, so let me bring this to board. You You see, when we are actually talking about pregnancy, it's not just conceiving, but the ability to deliver.
Yeah.
A lot of people conceive, but they lose it usually within a week or
Okay.
within the first 3 months,
Okay.
which is the first trimester.
Okay.
So when the woman naturally has the ability to conceive and also has the ability to deliver, that is when we say the woman has gone through successful pregnancy school. Okay, now let's take this. Few factors actually affects a woman in not getting pregnant. The first one,
Few factors
Yes.
compared to the men.
men have their own challenges. Men have their own challenges.
I think
Just that
we'll
our
come to
society has ignored that aspect, and then
focusing
anytime,
much on the
yes,
women.
anytime a child is not being brought forth out of a union, it's the woman
It's the
that
woman.
is chastised,
Okay,
not
so
the man.
today let's talk about the women.
So we are looking at the women today. So the first factor which I want to look at is aging. Aging. You see, the higher you age, the less or the decreased probability of conceiving. You see, anytime a child is born to this earth and the child is female, the child naturally comes around with hormones or the eggs, to the layman, the ovary. A female child has an average of 1 to 2 million ovaries within the system as the child is born
Okay.
naturally. Now, when the child gets to the menstrual stage, some menstruate very early as the age of 8.
Wow.
Yes, some begin menstruating at that particular age. When the child begins menstruating at the age of 8, remember that it is this same egg. New ones are not produced. It is the one that the child came with. They are released every month,
Okay.
just to tell the system, to push the system into puberty
At that early age of 8.
at that early age of 8. Some menstruate at the early age of 8, but majority of them usually is above 12.
The
But-
13.
Yes, the 30s going, majority of
Okay.
them. But we have had cases of children menstruating, or female children menstruating at the age of 8 and then 9 and then 10. Rough late is being common due to our lifestyle modification. If you are eating a lot of junk in your homes, just take note that your child is likely to start menstruating earlier. Take note of that. Yeah. So that has been a cause. Now, as the child grows, as the child is aging, the child is consistently losing these eggs in quotes, or these ovaries along the line. And as the child is losing them, you see, it's a countdown.
Okay.
It's a clockwise. It's
so
a
the
countdown.
earlier the person menstruates, the possibility that as she's aging, it will affect his childbirth is high.
It's very, very high.
Okay.
It's very, very high. And fertility for pregnancy actually is very, very high within the age of 20 to 30. So when a woman or a lady is from the age of 20 to 30, they are very, very high to be pregnant. In
Very
fact,
fertile.
very, very fertile. They are very, very fertile. And they are likely to be pregnant within that particular period. That doesn't mean they cannot be pregnant before the age of 8. No.
Okay.
Before the age of
30.
18 or before the age of 20.
20,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
So
That
they
doesn't
can
mean
still get pregnant before the age of 20.
20,
But
yes.
between 20 to 30, that is where the
That is where
fertility
fertility is very, very high.
Very high.
It's very, very high. And hence, usually we will use this platform to advise that women at that particular age, if possible, should get unionized or get married.
Be married.
And then start bearing.
Hey. Okay.
Yes, we will have to make it clear. You see, I've met young ladies. And at times when you advise them, yes, it's good to be ambitious. Yes, I have sisters who are pursuing their PhDs and all that. I have friends, ladies who are pursuing their PhDs. It's good to be ambitious, but the truth is that you can work with these things hand in hand. You can actually do it hand in hand. Let's try and then balance our lives. Just don't lean to just one aspect of life and then later come to regret it, or later come to blame things that are not in existence. Let's take note of these. So this is one of the factors. Aging has been one of the factors. And then also genetics or hereditary. You see, you have to check your mother's line. You have to check your grandmother's line. Your mother was your your mother was your grandmother's only child.
Okay.
Your grandmother was your great grandmother's only child.
Yes.
You get it?
Wow.
Which means that line has a less fertility rate.
Wow.
Are you getting it?
That's a nice revelation. I mean,
Yes.
the revelation you. Okay.
People have to take notice of that.
Yeah.
You have to take notice
So
of that.
if my mother had only one child,
Only one child.
which is me.
Yes.
If my grandmother had only one child, which was or probably maybe two.
Yes. You have to check it. Not because they were preventing it. But they tried, but after that one child, they couldn't conceive again.
Wow.
You have to be careful. You have to be careful. You see, when it comes to fertility, bloodline counts a lot. We have it in our local language that, go and check the grandmother. That's how
fast. He gave birth to about 6. The grandmother could have been 8, 10. Then with that one,
Yes.
you are likely to have 4.
Yes. So even if you're a man listening to me this morning, you pick that knowledge and then where you are married from, you check. Okay, so this is how my wife's mother.
Okay.
That is how she gave birth.
Okay.
It looks like even the spacing was even less than 1 year. If that is it, then I have to be careful. If I want to space my children, then I have to go to the hospital so that I seek help. Else you may try it naturally and still fail. Because such families are very, very fertile. I noticed that with my wife. My wife's mother had 5 children, and then the spacing was less. It looks like they were just coming. So when I got married, Charlie, the day I got married, the next day we were at the family planning center. Yes, because I wanted to give myself at least 1 year rest before I set to
spacing.
Yes, spacing before I set to childbirth.
Coming to that family planning thing.
Yeah.
Most women, most of times at young ages, between the ages of 19, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, most of these young girls feel that, okay, I'm not ready to have a child right now. So we take a lot of contraceptives to really prevent pregnancies.
Yeah.
Immediately they indulge in it. They go to take some drugs to prevent the child from coming, or probably anything, the sperm fertilizing, or probably maybe pregnancy coming. And so the intake of these at that young age, can it also affect your childbearing? Because I brought up this question because of what you just said.
Yeah. Let me make this clear. Whether you are young or you are old, let's take note of this. Emergency contraceptives cannot be taken more than twice within a year. I said emergency contraceptives. You know the emergency contraceptives. I don't want to give names to it. They cannot be taken more than twice. 2 times within a year. You can't. The moment you do that, you are delaying your
and these young girls and young men too cannot
that is emergency contraceptives.
Stay without.
They do it and then they are just following it. They do it. As I'm speaking right now on air, I believe we've crossed the 10 mark going to by now someone has taken 10 already. More than even 10, because it looks like.
Because the fact is they can't prevent themselves. They feel that they have to enjoy it.
So now, the first thing I'll preach abstinence. Abstinence. We have tried preaching abstinence.
So the contraceptives can really affect your childbirth.
Yes, that is especially with the emergency ones. Especially with the emergency ones. It can affect your childbirth. That is when you have exceeded it. As I said, within a year, you can't take more than 2 emergency contraceptives.
You're giving me a lot of revelations this morning.
You can't.
The aging.
Whether you are married or you are not, within a year, you can't take more than 2 emergency contraceptives.
Seriously, I mean, Reverend, we are learning a lot.
Yes.
Because you said earlier that the age, 20 to 30, you are very fertile.
Yes,
so
very, very fertile.
When you are crossing 30, it should cross your mind that thing. And that should not mean that when you are beyond 30, you can't have children.
No. Even in your 40s, you can still have children. Let's take note.
But at least.
Just that the incidence is low.
Yes.
The incidence is low as compared to the 20 to 30s, especially the early 30s. That is where the bracket.
One thing you're talking about again is we can inherit it as heredity.
Yes.
Then the contraceptives.
And then the contraceptives. Okay. The contraceptives, the emergency contraceptives, should not be taken twice. So now, this is where, you see, with previous years of performance reviews and all that, we've come to notice that there is a high incidence of pregnancy, teenage pregnancy, especially in mining areas. Now, so this is what we have actually done. Family planning services should be assessed. Go and visit the family planning
So
look, people talk down on family planning. As I said, the first thing is abstinence. It's true. We preach abstinence throughout, but there are some, no matter the abstinence that you preach to, they will still
go for it.
So now, if they are going for it, they should go with education, because the family planning just don't give you, just go, I'm coming for family planning, they just give you anything. No, it doesn't go like that. You are educated on your health. You are educated on the drug or the pill being given to you. You are educated on how to go about with basic things. And you see, it has a less side effect as compared to you going out there to search for drugs yourself to prevent pregnancy. So the family planning services within facilities should be assessed.
So
don't go buying emergency contraceptives, because if you go using it, if you exceed the two, and then probably, let's say you were even in your 20s, and then let's say you are dating a certain guy, and then he's
not able to abstain.
Yes,
and you are doing it, and you are taking the drugs just to please.
You are not even visiting the family.
You are not ready.
You are just taking emergency contraceptive, and now he marries you. He's waiting for 1 year. For 1 year, you are not conceiving, and then he begins to.
He will definitely look elsewhere.
You get it? He begins to blame you, but he has been the one pushing you to that act.
Yes.
So, in order not to bring this to yourself, go and access the family planning services within our hospitals.
And Reverend, so you feel the family planning rather is best?
It's best. It's
and
best.
Some women also complain that after the use of these family planning, there are different types, the way they go about it. When they would want to have childbearing, and so they will stop taking the family planning pills, or probably the way they went about it, they would rather go and tell the doctor that, hey, I don't want to use this thing again, I want to have children. It also becomes a problem.
Okay, I think it's education. Let me clarify this. You see, I'm in health.
Okay.
You see, even though I knew about this, but when I wanted to be involved in family planning with my wife or my spouse, I began to read a lot about it. We started with the depot. I'm using myself as an example, so that it will not send any wrong signal to people out there, because people have wrong notions about
family planning.
It's wrong. Look, you have to plan your life. You see, it's family planning. That is why we are preaching abstinence to the people who are not married. You get it? It's family. You have not made a family, so why are you even trying to go to that? But if you still want to go there, now look at it. Read there. When we tried our first one that we wanted to conceive, now when we read it, we realized that after taking it, the drug will still be in your system for an average of 5 to 10 months. Let's take note of that. This is not just what I stated is not just related to just one pill or one drug, but it differs with different procedures that you used. Each procedure and then is range of duration after it has been removed. Okay. So we came to notice that, okay, so if you stop it, it will still act within the system for like 5 months.
Okay, so even when you stop,
it
takes some time.
It takes some time. So now you make your calculation. Look at it. Now, I want to conceive by December. You get it? I am on family planning. I want to conceive by December. I'm on family planning. West by June, I should stop.
So you shouldn't take the immediate decision and thinking that immediately I stop.
Immediately I stop. The next month I should be pregnant. That is where the misinformation has been.
All right.
That is where the misinformation has been.
Okay. And so you should give yourself some time, about 4 months, 5 months.
It will clear from your system. Okay. Some even take as far as 10 months.
Okay.
That is why I say the range, it differs with the procedures that were used. So you get it. The issue is that let's educate ourselves, and also let me take this platform to actually extend these also to our public health nurses out there, and also to our community of nurses out there. Please take time and educate our women who come there. Take time and educate them that, this, if you should take this at this time, this is what is going to happen. This is what you are going to see. Let people know that if you take this, this is what you see. This is what you see. This is what you see. If you want to conceive, this is what when you take the drug, this is how long it's going to be in your system. So if you want to conceive at this time, take time. Take time and educate them.
Of course.
I think if people get to know this, they will not go condemning these things. You get it? We knew it.
Yeah.
We knew it. And then we had planned that we wanted to conceive at a particular time. So we went, and then we stopped it at this particular time. And exactly at that time, as we predicted, that was it.
Wow.
That is how we have 2 children. That is how we use for our firstborn. That is how we use for our secondborn. You get it?
Yeah.
And they are spaced.
Okay.
They are spaced.
Okay.
This takes off stress from you, the father,
Yeah.
and from the mother also.
Yeah.
You get it? So these are education that have not gone out.
Yeah.
And it has become much more like misconceptions within the community that, hey, it's not like that. It's never like that. As I'm saying it, I have been involved with it with my spouse, and we have given birth. We have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. So there is nothing wrong in doing this. But the truth is that majority go out there, they go to the pharmacies, they go to the drugstores and all that. They buy it and then they start consuming it. And at the end of the day, they come and then say something else to people out there, giving them wrong misconceptions. Go to the health facilities, go to the family planning units, go there, ask them questions. Don't be afraid. We are there because of you. If nobody comes to the hospital, who is going to service someone?
So with the earlier, you said something when we started the discussion, talking about the fact that there are people that probably maybe at the age of 8, as young as 8,
Yeah, they may start menstruating.
They start menstruating. And so as they are aging, the possibility that their infertility may come up at an early age is very high.
Yeah.
And so what of those that menstruate late?
They all have their side effects. Now, when you menstruate early, we will also say that at that time too, you will also become fertile earlier. You get it? When you menstruate late, which means that if you should menstruate late, which means that time that you were not menstruating, you were not fertile. I hope you are getting me. Yes. Or if
So let's say around 16, 17.
Around 16, 17, if the person is menstruating at that time,
That is
the first
time.
time
The first
the person
time
is menstruating. Puberty. The onset of puberty is delayed. Now, breast development is delayed.
Wow.
Yes, it's this menstruation, puberty that brings out the best qualities within a lady. All the nice things we see within a lady sets off at puberty stage. So when menstruation has actually not set off, that is, you see, when our young ladies are actually growing up and they have not experienced menstruation, virtually they look like boys.
Yeah.
Is that not the truth?
Yeah.
Is that not the truth?
Yeah.
They virtually look like. But the moment the puberty sets in, now you begin to realize that, oh, this is a lady.
You see them as
ladies. So delayed menstruation
also
affects puberty.
childbearing.
It affects puberty at the early stage. It affects puberty at the early stage. And then also, if menstruation has begun at 16 years, I don't think a 16-year will be married unless at first it used to be a menace.
Yeah.
Where people were being handed over to older men at that age. You see, but right now we don't have that issue. I would say even if they are within the system, they are very, very minute and usually within the rural settings.
Yeah.
Yes. So that one, your fertility stage did not start early, but that does not mean you cannot conceive.
Yeah.
Once you begin menstruating, now you are ovulating, and hence you have that probability of conceiving. So let's take note of that. But the truth is that usually people like that have their menopausal onset around 45. It's much more delayed.
Okay.
Usually those who menstruate earlier has their menopause around 40.
Wow.
You see the difference now.
And this is very critical. So that means I'm not really putting fears. If the person is 35 years or the lady is around 34 years and is not married or probably do not have a child, and had the changes in the body around 8, she may hit her menopausal age very early.
Very, very early.
Wow.
West by 40, she may.
So what then should we do? Because this is very, very alarming. But I really wanted us to also come about our eating habits.
Yeah.
And the way it affects our women when it comes to childbearing and fertility, before we even zoom into the fibroids, and because there are lots of complaints about if the more you grow, that even the pregnancy is not coming, so you start developing fibroids. I want us to establish the link, but before that, with what you were talking about, I mean, hitting 40, menopausal age, is there anything that really causes that?
Okay, so as I said, with the early menstruation, I said that in our recent times we are experiencing that because of the onset of junk meals.
Okay, then we'll zoom into the meals
with our pizzas, with our sugary drinks. You see, let me tell you, sugar makes anyone age faster. Sugar. If you want to age faster, start consuming sugar. Sugar makes people age faster. Aging faster does not mean another year has been added to you. Your appearance looks older than your age.
Wow.
Yes. Because when sugar gets into your system, when too much sugar gets into your system, it pushes your system, it alters your hormones. Hence, if a child has been exposed to junk meals, there are homes where probably this morning the child is eating or taking the normal, let me say tea, so that I don't mention any product. Tea. For tea, there is not anyone's product. The normal tea with milk in it. Yes. And then egg and then bread. That is junk. In nutrition, that is junk. We take these, that is junk. Do you know, in nutrition, I think I've said this over here. In nutrition, that meal is heavier than a bowl of fufu.
Wow.
Tea with milk, with sugar, with fried egg, with bread. Sometimes they even put butter,
sausage,
and then sausage, and you see, that meal is heavier than a bowl of fufu. That meal is heavier than that.
Okay.
You get it?
Okay.
So now the child consumes this, and then in the afternoon, the child is given
fried rice,
a fizzy drink, and then fried rice. Yes, a fizzy drink and then fried rice. And then some chicken or meat, some red meat
to take for lunch.
Yes,
I'm making my young child enjoy.
And then even the child requests for pizza and then another fizzy drink.
Yeah, chicken pizza and drink.
You get it?
Yeah.
Now, this child, if it's a female, with time, is going to look older than the age. Why? Because overweight or obesity will set in.
Okay.
Which is also a precursor for fibroids, which we are not going there now today. But it's also a precursor for fibroids, overweight or obesity. You get it? And also a precursor for even infertility.
Okay.
Yes.
So mothers should also look at that.
Yes.
The kind of foods we feed our children.
Yes. Studies prove that women who are obese are less likely to conceive.
So it's not everything the child will ask for that you give.
No. You regulate the child. What the child eats, whatever the child consumes. And the truth is that children are always observing. They are copying. What is my mother eating?
Probably maybe you've not had an experience where these pizzas, these shawarmas, you've not seen a child who will worry you and cry and they want it all the time.
The question is, how did the child know we eat that?
Shawarma.
Renata, I hope you are getting it.
I understand.
How did the child know we eat such thing?
Okay.
How did the child know?
Okay.
You see, sometimes they pick them from schools. Recently, my child comes to the home and then she's asking for some biscuits and Charlie, we don't give you these things to school. Where do you get? How do you manage to know? So I realized that it's from school. When people are celebrating their birthdays and all that, I don't give my child that to school. There's always a fruit. You don't take any of the can. No, you can't take them because I'm very much concerned about her health. You see, but when she comes, sometimes she comes from school and she brings them. Where did you get this from? You call and they will be any birthday with school and whatever. I say, oh my God, parents, please, if we are educating people. You can celebrate your birthday. The child can take fruits.
Okay.
The child can take fruits to school.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong. Oh, celebrated his birthday. He brought a very big watermelon. Brought it to class and we all enjoyed it. Is that not okay?
Yeah.
Yes, it's better than bringing these fizzy drinks to school.
Yeah.
And then these candies to school, and then you share it to the kids, and then now they are becoming addicted to it. They come home and then they want that when you are not feeding them that. You see, while you are doing all this to them, now you realize that you get to meet the child very, very young, at a very young age, and the appearance is looking like a mother.
Yeah.
Are we not seeing this?
Yeah.
Now, at first, within our CWC book or the weighing book, we were not recording overweight, but right now we've come to put them there because obesity is getting on the rise
As a result of the food
because
we take.
of the food we are giving
And
our
so,
children of late.
I mean, whoever is listening should understand that the kind of food we feed our children can affect their fertility in the
It's
near future.
affecting them and is giving them a wrong onset for puberty. You see, whilst it's altering them,
Yeah.
it's making them grow. The hormones are changing, so the body,
yes.
you see, it's communicating.
So they are likely to have their, menstrual cycle very early.
Very, very early.
And then, just as you said, if you are to have it early, then the likelihood that your menopausal age, you are also going to hit it early is very early.
Very high.
Okay.
And just imagine if you get a child of 8 years menstruating, how is she going to take care of herself?
Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah.
On the aspect of hygiene,
Psychologically,
and then hygiene,
mentally,
and then you see, all these
everything
things
about
are very, very
you should
critical.
hit around 12, 13.
Yes, by then at least you should be matured to go about with it. Imagine a child of 8 years in classroom and all of a sudden
Or
she
9.
menstruates.
Okay.
You get it.
She would just cry the whole day.
She would just cry the whole day. Blood just came out of me. And nothing has cut me, and then blood is just coming. She would just cry the whole day. But at least if the child is a little bit mature,
And
12,
aware.
13, then at least the child is going to know that, oh no. By then she would have been educated. 8 years, if we should educate her on menses, how is she going to take it?
Okay, Reverend, there are some of us, probably maybe as children, we didn't get a chance to eat pizza, shawarma.
Yeah.
But, okay, we've hit 25, 26, the kind of food we eat as women. What are some of the foods or things we take in our body that can, you've mentioned sugar as very detrimental.
Yes.
We'll really have time to talk about sugar and its effect in us some other time. But as adults, what are some of the foods that would also bring changes to us as women that may affect our fertility, our childbearing?
Okay, let me take this and let me put this there. You see, when it comes to our body responds to what we put in. The hormones and everything, it responds to what we put in. One thing I want to touch on is red meat. At times I go to social media and I see people, yes, there's nothing wrong with red meat. Let me make this clear. There's nothing wrong with it. But an excess consumption of red meat will alter your hormones as a woman. Let's take note of that. An excess consumption of red meat will alter your hormones as a woman. Now, someone challenged me one time that, oh, Charlie, we have been watching a certain man, he says red meat is good and all that. And I said, oh, I know that particular man. I think I've also been following him. He's doing something very good. But the issue is that, have you noticed that the man has been exercising a lot? And the man is much more like into gymming. He said, hey, yes, I've noticed though. I said, do you do that? Once whatever you put in, if you are able to exert it out, we have no problem with you. But if you are living a sedentary lifestyle, and then you are consuming junk with a lot of meat, you are putting your system at the wrong forefront.
So the girls that will always go enjoying kebabs and
this weekend it was
the long holidays.
In fact,
they wouldn't take alcohol though. He will say, I don't take alcohol, but she takes Smirnoff. I don't know. But you're just the meat.
Yes, the meat.
The red meat.
Alcohol and smoking also alters pregnancy.
Yes, it brings some changes. But let's say probably maybe as for the smoking and alcoholism, it may not be something very common with. Though yes, some women do.
Currently,
Ronald,
what we've come to notice is that shisha.
it's something that the women are taking a lot.
Shisha is something that the women are taking a lot, especially
even with the
young ones that we see that we are assuming they are educated, therefore they shouldn't have been taking it. They are the ones abusing it. Yes, and it's becoming very common in our clubs now.
Yeah.
Yes, and also in our pubs.
So aside the food, the junk foods, the meat, the drinks, as you spoke about, because most women feel that, hey, I'm enjoying, so I have to really, and every week,
without taking care of her health.
They are at a particular place.
Yes.
The Indomies, the fried rice, they are taking it.
At the
Probably
wrong
maybe
time.
they don't really know how it is affecting them.
Yes, and at the
how
wrong
it
time
can
too.
affect their
And at the wrong
fertility.
time too.
But there are some people too. What of drugs? The intake of these traditionally made drugs or even foreign drugs, can it also affect, aside the intake of these contraceptives? Let's say probably the person is sick, or probably the person, you know these herbal medicines and the kind of advice they do.
Yes.
Take 10 bottles, take 5 bottles, and
let me take this across first. Look, those of us in the health system, we are never against herbal medicine.
yes.
We are never against herbal medicine, because usually when they hear us speak on radio, they think, no, we don't do that. What we always advocate for is that anytime you are sick, consult a physician and make sure, whether being orthodox medicine, whether being herbal medicine, it should be prescribed.
Ghanaians, we are always walking straight to the pharmacy shop.
And then you see,
that's something we do.
You get to know that the pharmacist also is also working.
Yes, and so willingly he'll be ready to sell it out to you.
Yes, and I would say, I think maybe probably in future it can be addressed, because I've been reading about other countries and all that, where if you don't have a prescription, strictly you will not be sold some drugs. But over here, it looks like almost everything, majority of them, can be accessed at the counter. It has to be looked at. So I would say, anytime you are sick, please see a prescriber. Go to the hospital. Go and then make sure that it's a physician that has prescribed to you. I'm meeting already, information center. And they don't even measure it. They just open it and that's it. They start taking it. And at times you wonder, are you concerned about your health? Do you know you can break down your immune system?
That's these things we do ignorantly. Does it affect the childbearing of a woman?
Yes.
The fertility.
These can affect the childbearing depending on the type of drug you are taking. Yes. We have had incidents of oviduct blockage or fallopian tube blockages
as a result of
as a result of these, especially with these herbal stuffs and all these things. Please, it's not everything that you hear. I think the last time I said it over here, when a nurse tested the system with a Makusa or something, but I don't know. You get it?
The documentary.
The documentary missing malts, and then Coca-Cola, and then Fanta, and then went and then took
milk and malt.
You get it?
Other mixtures.
And then sent it out there to be advertised, and they were advertising, people were buying it. I hope you are getting it. So it's not everything that you hear out there that you rush into. So it's always advisable to seek an expert's advice before you buy any drug or anything, you take anything into your system. If you don't want any problem, stick to your diet. Look, vegetables and fruits, there are no drugs, no medicine that surpasses these two. Vegetables and fruits. Make it a daily habit to take vegetables consciously into your system, to take fruits consciously into your system. What we as blacks or Ghanaians, what we ignore is that we hardly take fruits. For the vegetables also, yes, still into it, or but fruits, if you should check from all this Easter period, the listener listening to me, did you take any fruits? Being it a mango, being it an orange,
Reverend,
being it a banana. You see, it's consciously not embedded in our diet. That has been our suffering.
I'm going for a commercial break.
Okay.
When I come back, we'll talk about the fact that, okay, I had my menstruation at the normal 13, 14 age. I'm not into contraceptives. I don't take these things. My mother have, 6, 7 children, which I know. Okay. But I got married 10 years. Okay.
Still
6 years. Still I'm not conceiving. What is really the effect? What is it? It's eating me up. That woman. I would want you to speak to her. What may be the problem? They check my husband is okay, probably be able to check my wife. What may be the other external things that may, and if time will permit us, probably there are also women that are also complaining that as we are aging, just as we talk about, they can develop fibroids as a result of this age. If time will allow us, we'll talk about that. But before that, let's go for a commercial break. When we come back, we'll do more.
Mfie aduanan baako nie ena Kumawuman Rural Bank agina ne naso atoto ankrankre ene ekuakuo sika ama eniji abafie yenjumadi ahodo bi etese savings account, current account, golden susu account ene mebadache account eyen hyehyɛ ahodo a yedi gu akwan mu ama wo sika sem agina brane wohia bosia de adi ujuma bi bra Kumawuman Rural Bank every say ye wo susu loan, business loans, import loans, group loans osumi adwumayefo nso so ye wo salary loans a ye de beboa wo ebraso se wo sika sem gina yie eno nti hwehwe ye kira kwan e wo bom so ahensan amakom asafo kejetia tafo alaba ene adakojache ye san so wo afijase Kumawu banko odomase ene brobonso ye pese ye te wo ninti e ya afre yen e wo 0501340083 ana 0202028337 Kumawuman Rural Bank, the listening bank.
Do you want to know how to discover and live a better life in Christ? Then tune in to the Better Life broadcast on Ultimate 106.9 FM from 5 a.m. to 5:25 a.m. every Monday to Friday as God's servant, Pastor Oseo Afuakwa of Embassy of Life Chapel, formerly Faith House Charismatic Chapel International, takes you on an adventure into the good news of God's kingdom to know God better, live life better, and impact your world better. God richly bless you as you listen.
Welcome to NLA 590 Mobile. Today we will discuss how you can win cash by playing 590 on your phone or online. Visit 590mobile.com.gh or dial *959# on any handset or network and choose option 7 on the menu for Perm 3. Perming allows you to increase your chances of a winning combination. Perm 3 gives you 2,100 times your stake amount when 3 or more numbers from your selection appear in any order. You need to select from 4 or up to a maximum of 10 numbers, all between 1 to 90, to play PEM 3. Thank you for your attention. And remember, you can stake your favorite NLA 590 lottery on your phone or online right now. All wins are paid same day, in full, and direct to your Momo.
Please dial 030-824-9477.
For any assistance, 590 Mobile at Downsem.
Reverend,
Renard.
we are back.
Yeah.
Yes, and so we'll be crossing over back to our very soon.
Okay.
But I would want us to really talk about this. Just as I was saying earlier, I'm a woman. My parents, I could see my mother was very fertile, had 6, 7 children. I really didn't indulge in anything. Intake of contraceptives, there was no all that. Yes, I didn't do any abortions because I know sometimes abortions too can cause that.
Yes, unsafe abortions.
Yes, I married very early. Let's say around 20, though not early, but around 25, 26, 27.
Yeah.
I got married, and so I'm expecting a child. Okay, likely of having a child because yes, that's the right timing. But still, I've waited 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. The child is not coming.
Okay, let me address this.
My
issue.
husband is well. Hospital report shows I'm fertile. My
husband is also fertile.
That is it.
Okay, so let me address it in this angle. You see, ideally, should I say, sex or sexual intercourse had at the ovulation period is the one likely to result in pregnancy. I'm repeating it. Sexual intercourse, which has been had at the ovulation period is the one likely to result in pregnancy. Now, some may not even know that period, but averagely, if your husband in layman's terms, let me say it, is sleeping with you 3 times in a week, probability that you may meet your ovulation period, the sperm may meet the ovulation period. That is when fertile egg or matured egg is released.
So out of the 7 days,
Out of the at least 3
At
times
least.
in a week, at least
the man should have the opportunity to have sex
3 times.
3 times.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Now, that should be looked at. If you are, because
I really want you to stress so people will really understand, because just as you said, that is the period at which probably the sperm may meet.
the
May.
egg. Yes.
The condition is may.
Yes.
So
may
it's
meet the egg.
that
There are
the
periods
least
they-
should be
they
3.
don't meet. Yes.
The least should be 3
Yes. Within a week.
within a week. So you
Yes.
can go 4, you can go 5.
That is according to your strength.
Number of rounds.
Yes. But you see, our system virtually does not allow.
Of course. I was going to come to that because
Recently,
I
I
mean,
told
doctor,
someone that-
realistically, you know,
I told someone that if
we
you have
go
a
to
man,
work, we are tired, we
Yeah.
come back. So
I told
having 4 times, 3 times, 4, 5 times sex in a week, and the number of rounds too.
Yes. Now, you see, when pregnancy or conceiving becomes an issue, now both of you should make it intentional. You should be intentional about
Okay,
conceiving.
okay. So if pregnancy becomes a problem,
Yes, you
both
should be,
the man and woman,
woman
should
should be
make it
intentional.
an intention to really,
to conceive.
yes, to put it as the top priority on their table to see how they go about it.
Yes, and let me tell you,
It shouldn't be like, oh, I feel like having sex, then I'll have it.
no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
There is no feeling
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
You get it. It should be
Okay.
intentional.
Okay.
Because we want to conceive.
Okay.
And
Okay.
let's take
Okay.
note of that.
Okay.
I know there are other methods of which we address probably another time of conceiving and all that. But if you want the natural way through a man and a woman, you should be intentional
But
with
but
sex.
the way we go about with sex, do the sex style affect child, like you being able to
No,
conceive?
as long as sperm has been released and then the sperm goes through the vagina, through
Into
the
the
cervix, and then goes into the uterus, which is the womb, and then swims to the fallopian tube to go and meet the fertilized egg that has been matured.
Okay.
That is
Oh,
that one is okay.
So whether any
No matter the
style,
once the sperm should be released, and the sperm should be motile, not dead, not weak.
and I'm saying
And then
that
the
like,
sperm should be okay, but the quantity should be okay.
so it doesn't matter the number of rounds you go.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. See,
There have been issues with people. Sorry for this, but issues with people who were raped, and it was just once, and they
and they,
conceived.
okay, yes. So just
You get it. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's all about
It's
the
all
sperm
about you at that
getting the
particular-
exact location.
exact location,
The
and then
target.
and then the egg has been released. You get it. That's all.
And the sperm be fertile as well.
The
So
sperm
the
has to be
man,
fertile.
you have to put yourself in a good condition.
Yes, you have to put yourself in a good condition.
Okay.
If you are not in a good condition, you may be blaming the woman when you are the cause.
Yeah.
So you see, these things matter.
Okay,
But
aside
when
the sex, finish
when
it.
these things have been done, and we are still not gaining results, you see, there are other artificial ways of conceiving.
Okay.
We have the IVF. With the IVF, it's much more like what we call the tube baby. I'm saying it to the layperson.
It's expensive. That's
It's
what people
expensive.
say.
Yes, it's expensive. It's true. It's true. But it's an option. So let me lay that one out there. It's an option. And then we also have the artificial insemination,
Okay.
where the sperm is picked from the man, and then sometimes, as I said, the motility, the sperm does not have the strength because it's when the sperm is released,
As a man, I
it
want to-
swims to
I
go
want-
and meet the egg.
I want to enjoy my sex and have my child. That's what some men will put.
That doesn't stop you from enjoying your sex. You still enjoy your sex. Just that when you release the sperm doesn't have the ability
To
swim
swim
and meet
the egg.
The egg. So now
It's not strong enough.
it's not strong enough. So now the sperm is taken from you, the man, and then it's sent directly to me, the egg.
Hey. AI.
You see, these are there, and these are happening.
Wow.
I know children. I currently, as I'm speaking, should I say in quote, I godfather a child that came out of that.
Okay.
You get it? Yes. So
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
If you can afford it.
If you can afford it, there's nothing wrong with that. Let's take note of these. And then also, as a pastor, I've seen cases where, Charlie, you also have to be prayerful.
Okay. The spiritual aspect is there.
You look, you can't take that out. You can't take that.
Yeah.
You have to learn. You see, one thing, I always want to balance faith with logic.
Yeah.
Don't just take one aspect. Oh, then you are just praying, but you don't know how to attend to the other aspect. When you
So
pray,
while you are praying, visit the hospital.
go and see
see
the physician, the
just
gynecologist.
as one thing you said, it should be a constant thing. You should really make up your mind that we are going to really
We are
do
going
this
to conceive a child, and hence, in fact,
And I'm
if
stressing.
not anything, 3 times.
Reverend is saying that at least 3 times.
At least.
So
If you-
women, please, 3 times.
At least 3 times a week.
At least 2. So it should be more than that.
At least 3 times a week. And do you know
Alright.
that even this has the ability to even reduce the incidence of prostate in men?
Oh, okay. Constant sex.
Yeah.
Reduce the likelihood of men getting prostate.
Prostate cancer.
Hey, Charlie. That's another revelation.
Yes. So if you are listening, okay, let me chip in this before I run up. When women, after 5 years, they are not conceiving, usually what I've come to notice from the men is that the women now shun sex. I hope you are getting it.
Yeah, I understand.
They now begin to get rid of sex. So if you are listening this morning, that you are within that age bracket, within that group, look, be conscious about having sex with your partner. Be conscious about producing the child. Whilst you are being conscious with it, whilst not just that, encourage yourself, psych yourself mentally. Yes, we tried this year, it didn't work. Give it a try again. You see, just push it. And don't let the pressure of the society get so much to you.
On you, yes. That is one thing that is really
If
affecting
you
our women
get
most
so
of the time.
much into you, in fact, you will ignore your husband. Husband too will ignore the wife. Let's take note. It's a double fight.
Yeah.
And it's a conscious
The two
effort.
of us must come together.
It's true. Agree to come out with a child. You see, as I said, faith plays a role. Faith helps us. Let's not get rid of it.
All right.
So if you are Muslim listening, go pray concerning Lord God giving you a child. Because in Christianity we believe that God gives child.
Yeah.
Yes, we believe it.
Yeah.
And in the Bible there have been incidences like that with God giving people children.
Yeah.
Sarah is a typical example.
Yeah.
We have the mother of Samuel,
Yeah.
which is Hannah, being also a
Yeah.
typical example.
Yeah.
You see,
But this time we're going the biological.
yes,
To really find out.
You're going the
But
biological.
you've really nailed it right on the head.
Yes, you have to
That-
balance it. You live
that-
a balanced life.
Yeah.
You just don't go and then pray.
just-
and at the end of the day, you don't do
anything.
You don't do anything. No. You see, even in the Bible, you see, when God promised Abraham that he was going to give him a child, you see, the Bible said right after that, Abraham knew Sarah.
So please-
Abraham had sex with Sarah.
Reverend is telling us this morning that constant complaint, I am tired, whether from the man or from the woman. Look, we should have it at least 3 times a day, and it should be a conscious
Not
effort.
a day, a week.
A week.
If you try
three,
a day,
3
in fact,
times
you
a
will
week.
kill people still.
Three times a week. Okay, that is the least number. Okay, you've tried and then pray as well.
Yeah.
Because what I know is children are from God. As for that one, we can't take that.
You can't
out.
take that from
You may have
So no matter your
everything,
faith.
you may do everything, but childbearing comes from God. And so I think if whatever we've discussed here, talking about eating habits, talking about menstrual cycle, if we take note of these things and then ensuring that, a lot of things must come into it. I feel that we'll really have children. In fact, we'll be filtering the whole place with children, and then it will bring some sort of smiles and happiness at home.
Make sure you give according to your budget.
Yes. The number of children.
Don't let them become a budget.
But
a burden to
there are a lot
the
of
society.
lessons I've taken. Now, as parents, we should be careful the way we feed our children with junk foods.
Yes.
The kind of of foods we feed them, because it may prompt their menstrual cycle earlier, and which may affect their menopausal, age as well.
Yeah.
And that can affect their fertility.
Yes.
And so it's one thing we must really consider. Again, the age, okay? We should be a bit considerate.
Yeah.
When you are hitting 24, 25, you are done with the university, you have a job, and the men are coming, don't just turn them down.
Don't turn them away. Take advantage.
Reverend have made us understand that between the ages of 20 to 30, that is where the fertile period is. So if the husband comes and you feel that this man is good for me, don't shun them. And when you are hitting the 28, 29, then you start complaining with churches. Just as Reverend said, I've always been getting a lot of complaints. Hey, Reverend. Reverend. Yes, the complaints. And again, I think we as couples should also watch ourselves, our sex activity, how we go about it, and everything about it. Thank you for coming, Reverend.
Thank you,
think
Ronald.
we enjoyed every bit of this morning's edition of Cup of Tea. And so just as you said, next week we'll be going into the men, and then we'll talk a bit about the fibroids as well.
Yes.
To really see if indeed I hit my 30, 35, and I'm not able to really have children. Can it develop into fibroids? What brings about these fibroids? What causes it? We'll zoom into the discussion, but thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
I enjoyed every bit of this morning's edition of Cup of Tea right here on Ultimate 106.9. I'm sure you at home listening enjoyed every bit of this morning's edition. Well, we'll be crossing over back to Star very soon, and so before that, I would want us to take a listen. Bank within 24 hours. At your service, you're ready. Give you the loan to do whatever you want to do, but all you need to do is walk to our branches here in Kumasi, our main branch located at Kumeu. The Ashanti region, that's where our head office, or Tafo Mouse, Banco Alaba, or branches near. Just walk to a bank, start doing business. Are you a businessman? Do you need a loan? Clear your goods at the port. Or probably you're a salaried worker, but your salary is finished. And so probably you need some loan to sort yourself out, to deal with some problems at home. All you need to do is walk to any Kumelman Bank branch with just 3 months pay slip from the Accountant General Department, and we are ready to help give out business loans as well. Businessmen and women, come do business with us. And I tell you, you are really going to enjoy the kind of service we will give. You can call us on 0501-669-243. Kumauma Bang, as I always say, it is the bang of joy. Providence Insurance, your number one motor insurance company, is calling this morning. Look, I've always told you that when it comes to insurance, your number one company, it's Providence Insurance. Why am I saying that? The kind of service we give you. And when it's time for us to pay, we pay within time. No libi, no laba. I am sure with other companies, you may be getting a lot of stories, but with Providence, you are assured. When the time is due, we will pay. And so, beautiful woman listening to me this woman, gentleman listening to me this morning, wherever you are, you need to insure your shop. You need to insure yourself. You may be strong as a fiddle this morning, but remember, it's not all the time you'll be ready to always work, and so you need to insure yourself as well. Your children's education, you need to ensure it. Every aspect of your life, you need insurance. That's your new car. Just walk to any Providence Insurance office here in the region. Probably call or buy on 0242-426-396. And we are ready to do business, work with you, and give you the best when it comes to insurance. Providence, we always demand you are covered. Jeffrey Press Computers. Look, my laptop is even giving me problems. So right from here, I'll be walking straight to Jeffrey Press Computer. I didn't buy my laptop from Jeffrey Press, that's why. Yes, right from here, I'm going straight to Jeffrey Press Computer. My brand new laptop. I need a brand new laptop for myself. When it comes to quality, then Jeffrey Press is the best. We sell all kinds of brands of laptop and desktop computer, CCTV camera, flat screen television, slightly used and brand new. Walk to our main office, Bantama High Street. That's where we are located, near the GNTC opposite. Or call us on 0244-026203. So come with me, let's all go straight to Jeffrey Press Computer. Let me give you quality. The NLA 590 mobile is still on, Charlie. Your mobile phone, don't just be WhatsApping and don't just be messaging. Don't just be texting. Start making money. And the only way to make good and quick money is all the NLA 590. All you need to do is to dial star 959 hash. And you're good to go. 590.